to start with.
See?
But
Let Greg start with his
test
can.
to end all tests, and it reminded me of the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny.
Oh, yes. Internet classic. Hey, welcome to the Nothing of Value podcast. I am Jeff, joined by...
Greg.
And Doug.
And we are coming at you live via the power of the internet.
I mean, it's not really live, Jeff. By the time they've
going at you recorded
at Jeff's Palisades.
At the behest of the internet, with everything geek related, I guess, or the things you want to talk about. No, it's everything, Doug. Everything.
Everything we want to talk about.
There you go.
And otherwise.
The whole fucking thing. Everything.
Everything.
The fact that fucking, Barron Trump wore a Spider-Man shirt, we talk about that.
Yeah. The Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Yeah, that's on the docket.
Invented a hero to be like the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Sure.
His name was the Cockmuncher. Or
no.
It
was the Hemp Knight. And the villain was the Cockknocker.
The Cockknocker, right.
Which was Mark Hamill.
No,
it was
they
so
have
great.
they have like it's like something Ranger that they have in their own little universe that's supposed to be like
it's
Dark
Blunt
Knight.
Boy and
No, I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
There's one, and in the new movie that they're coming out with, Jay wears the T-shirt of it.
Oh,
something Ranger. I can't remember right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So when do you guys think Kevin Smith's going to get a chance to direct a Marvel movie? Do you think, just to open it up?
You know what? Like he's been doing a lot of like those CW superhero shows.
Yeah.
I think he's done Supergirl a couple times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's definitely directed a few of those episodes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Good for
maybe
him.
Like Arrow, and maybe he did some Flash.
Oh yeah.
But he hasn't really like dipped his toe into the Marvel pool yet.
Because like he does, if you guys watch his YouTube channel, he does a lot of commentary on the Marvel movies. Like he did like a live 1 hour review of Infinity War after it came out.
He's a huge comic nerd.
He's a big fan.
Now the thing is that like he has a different style than I think what Marvel's looking for and what Disney is looking for.
Maybe.
Right? Like Kevin Smith kind of operates the same way Joe Rogan does.
Yeah, I can definitely
right, where they
that.
come in at low budget.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's true. It's
Marvel's multi-billion.
Yeah,
not
just that he is self-referential.
He's done big movies before.
Like what though? Like what off the top of your head?
Didn't he direct fucking?
Because all I can think of are Kevin Smith movies, which are like Mallrats and stuff.
Like Dogma was not low budget. It was a big Hollywood movie with a lot of big stars in it.
It wasn't huge budget, but it was a Kevin Smith.
And those are big
film.
Hollywood stars in today's standards.
Yeah.
But back then, Matt Damon was nobody.
No, it's not true. It was after Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, but again,
he was definitely somebody.
Again, but like that's because Kevin Smith knew Matt Damon before Good Will Hunting.
A lot of
so
these
it was
were just
almost like a
friends
service
who did.
back to Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
That he did it.
Same with George Carlin. It was just friends. It wasn't like, well, George Carlin's a big name. He just went to George Carlin and said, "Do you want to do it?"
But the point I'm trying to make, bitch, is that he is capable of directing bigger than Clerks.
Sure, but
He's got chops.
But
and he's a fan.
But it's not like Kevin Smith ranks
What the fuck is with you two? Being goddamn film directing critics.
Okay,
you don't know shit about directing.
Straight up.
Neither do I.
You just asked us an opinion.
I don't care. You're wrong.
So to actually segue into one of our topics, I don't expect Kevin Smith to direct the new Suicide Squad 2 movie.
That's because it's going to be James Gunn.
There you go.
Okay, but like James Gunn did Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you expect Kevin Smith to pull out something like Guardians?
You know what I think Kevin Smith could direct? If he's going to go after one Marvel movie franchise, you know what I think he would be best suited for? Ant-Man. Because that's a very dialogue-heavy, quirky kind of environment. I think it would be perfect for him. And it's probably the only one he could direct. But
so
I think
far, it's the only one. Now,
I mean, like, if we were to do the Beyonders, they'd probably be fine.
Not necessarily just Ant-Man, though, but open this up because if Kevin Smith's going to get on board with Marvel, if he's going to get into the Disney bed regarding Marvel, he's probably going to jump into it Phase 4.
Yeah.
And they might give him his own dude.
Yeah.
For the record, just audience, we're not We don't have any inside information about Kevin Smith suddenly joining the team. We're just theorizing here as a big fan.
No. I mean, we just can't tell them that we have any inside
Now,
information.
Yeah.
of the Fantastic Four X-Men properties that are possibly coming Phase 4,
He could do Deadpool in a heartbeat.
No, that's not.
Dude, it's pretty much the script of Clerks.
No,
Set to a superhero movie.
No. Like Clerks was a real
Dude,
downer movie.
Are you kidding me?
I've watched it multiple times.
I've watched Clerks multiple times, and I'll tell you what, there are dead people with boners in both movies.
Yeah, I'm glad that you found
that's
that.
actually pretty awesome. But that said, who's the director of it that was changed from 1 to 2?
Yeah, there was a thing. But I think those kinds of movies are up if they allowed him to have R-rated dialogue, because the reason why I said Ant-Man is because the character Luis is pretty much that's the kind of character Kevin Smith would write, right?
About how there's a friend who knows someone
Yeah.
who like
like
his name is Paco, and Paco delivered a pizza to this other dude's place, and that dude's wife happened to be on the phone with our boy.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest though, if Kevin Smith actually does direct any film, I'm going to be looking for Jay and Silent Bob in the back of every fucking shot.
Yeah.
It does not matter where it is set.
No, Howard the Duck.
He could
There you go.
Howard the Duck.
Actually, I'm behind
no question about that.
I'm
he
behind
could
that.
revive that franchise and kill it.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway.
Howard the Duck.
All right,
Boom.
so
You heard
Hit
it here first.
Hit it.
all right, so anyway, on the actual topic today, we're going to be discussing, of course, it's Captain Marvel week. We are T-minus 6 days from Captain Marvel dropping. It is currently, as of the recording, Friday, March 1st.
Yep.
Movie comes out on the 7th, the evening of the 7th. I am there on the debut night with my wife watching, and we'll probably be doing it as a group sometime that weekend.
Probably.
We're very excited. It's the first movie in all of history that I can honestly say I am the most excited to see the very end of.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like there's never been a movie like that. Not to say I'm not excited to see the movie itself. I most definitely am, but I am very excited to see the end. Very. Like boner, dead man boner. Excited.
Yeah, Deadpool excited.
Yes. So, first topic of discussion today, we have new plot elements that have been released about the Captain Marvel movie. Apparently, the presence of the Tesseract has been confirmed by another media source, that they do indeed board a spaceship at some point, and Nick Fury and Captain Marvel encounter what is mentioned as a Tesseract in the script, but I mean, I'm assuming it's the Tesseract, being the Space Stone.
I was going to say, we haven't heard many others referred to as the Tesseract.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Okay, but the Tesseract was on Earth during the time frame that Captain Marvel would have been filmed.
Correct.
Yep.
Right? Like in the 90s, the Tesseract spent most of its life on Earth.
Yep.
It's what started in Captain America.
Yep.
Yep.
And then was buried under the ocean, and then Howard Stark found it at some point, presumably.
I think we figure it's about the 60s or 70s. Yeah.
So, yeah, timeline fits. So, the question is, with regards to this new plot element that has more or less been confirmed now by multiple media sources, is how does this work in? Is the Tesseract going to play a role in what ends up happening in Endgame?
Well, we do lose track of it from the point Howard Stark brings it up to the point that Nick Fury sort of shows it off.
But is the end scene, this is my theory, so let's kick it out to some ideas here. I'll stir the pot a little bit. I'll add some spice to the stew, and you guys let it simmer.
Okay.
And then we'll have some deliciousness in an hour.
We'll have some
hopefully.
gumbo in a
We'll
bit.
have some gumbo in a bit.
We'll have
That's
some
right.
gumbo in
Thicken
an
up
hour.
nice and good. So here's my idea.
Sure.
Tesseract is introduced in this movie, and the end scene is going to involve it. And it'll be some sort of time travel scene where we see an Avenger show up to claim it.
Okay.
As a part of the movie's plot, part of Endgame's plot.
Now, my question to you, Jeff, is the time stone has to be involved in that
Does it?
to travel time.
There's a time vortex in the quantum realm.
Sure, but like the time vortex, they travel back in time with it. It's not like you can control the time vortexes.
Do you know that for a fact?
Do you think Scott Lang's gonna be able to do that?
No.
Okay. You know, this does play into the theory that we had, what was it, last week or the last cast, which Doctor Strange, he is bouncing through every possible time frame to find the one that works. It could be that maybe, to Jeff's point, the Avenger that happens to come through is Doctor Strange and goes, I'm going to need that. Can I have that?
Yeah.
Right? It would throw everybody for a loop. It would confirm how we know that Doctor Strange is still there, but not there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it puts a lot of pieces back into play.
Yep.
And if you do it at the, whether it be the first, second, or third after scene credits, right, it's fine.
So do you think that it's possible that they are introducing the Tesseract just as a non-plot element? As in, like, it's not really relevant to the plot of the movie. It's just there as a centerpiece.
They need to. What they're gonna do with that end credit scene is they're gonna give you just a tip. But
is it the goober of the film?
Yeah.
Do you think the Tesseract
no,
is
it's
the
not the
goober?
goober of this film.
It's gonna be something so that you're gonna see it. You're gonna maybe see the Tesseract, maybe see something happen to the Tesseract, like someone taking it, or something incredibly weird happening.
Well, I mean,
and you're just going to go, what the heck is that? And the internet's going to stir up like crazy.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to make sense of that scene until Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, we're probably going to see Professor Hulk come and take it. All right? Where you're just going to be like...
so excited if that happened.
But then you're going to be like, okay, so what happened to Professor Hulk? Like, how did he become Professor Hulk? How did he do, like, blah, 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 blah. You're just going to be... You're going to have more questions than that scene will answer.
Yeah. That's the point of the whole scene, I'm pretty sure, right? This is the big end scene of all the end scenes. This is the end scene to end all end scenes. This is the one that completes the journey.
Endgame end scene.
Yeah.
No, that's on Endgame.
It's the pre-end Endgame end scene.
Yes.
Wow.
The pre-end of the end game. Yes. But anyway, so we know the Tesseract's in. Other plot elements include Kevin Feige's admission that there's going to be greater significance to the quantum realm going forward in Phase 4.
Yep.
What do you think of that?
Okay, so just before we go too deep in the quantum realm, we all know Professor Hulk happens because of the Wisdom Stone, right? Right? Like, what's the other...
The Mind Stone, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the the yellow one.
Yeah,
the Wisdom
yellow.
Stone.
The one that made Vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the only
Now,
plausible
I have a
explanation,
question.
right?
I do have a question. In the comics, Vision did theoretically exist without his color and all that.
For a while, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to go back to that as part of this? Like, Vision
Nope.
is still there. He could theoretically be
Last
put back
minute, I
together.
think Shuri saved his personality.
Mm.
Just put it in memory. And maybe they make him a vibranium body or repair the vibranium body. without
Or
the Mind
he
Stone.
goes back to Jarvis mode,
Well, maybe.
It's possible.
which, like, wouldn't be much of a difference.
Yeah.
Because I don't like Tony Stark's, like, the...
Friday?
Yeah, I don't like that voice as much as, like, the soft, soothing voice of Vision.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Like, and it was the slight, smug, uppity thing. What's doing that? Is
I don't
someone's mic
know.
going in and out?
Oh, my Discord just went off in the other room. Ladies and gentlemen,
Nice.
this is terrible podcast. I'm going to ask Doug to get up and just mute my speakers over there since he's the most mobile.
Hello?
I don't know if you guys can hear this at home, but I got a bunch of people on my Discord farting around.
Hello?
Oh, they probably couldn't hear you in there. But anyway, Doug's coming back. So, okay, what were we talking about? I don't fucking know.
No, we were talking about how
Quantum realm.
Vision and,
Oh.
and
Vision.
how it was the British accent that I really liked, the smugness and stuff.
Yeah.
So when Tony Stark's barking at him, he can use the dry sarcasm back to him, and it's a good combo.
What I do love about the MCU movies the most.
The mood of the
Yeah. What I love about them the most is how they are fully willing to background important characters until they're needed throughout the whole series. Like how Rhodey was like in Iron Man 1 was just like there, and they had every opportunity and they had a direct opportunity to put him in the War Machine suit, but they were just like, save that for later. Or like with Jarvis, we know Jarvis is of significance later on. He's there throughout the whole series, but he's nothing but a bit player. They basically hire Paul Bettany with the promise of, no, don't worry, you'll be a main character one day. But for the next 5 years, just chill out and do voiceovers for Jarvis. Another good example, Hawkeye. Hawkeye was in Thor #1 for like 2 minutes.
Mhm.
Just like, go get your bow and stop this guy trying to get the hammer that we're trying to analyze and get out of the dirt. And he's like, Roger. And he goes and gets his bow, points it at Thor, and then the threat's been neutralized. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll see you in the next movie. And then that's the least
Okay,
of Hawkeye.
no, but I like where you're going because the best example of that is Josh Brolin,
Yeah.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Here, we're gonna do one scene with you,
Yeah.
but don't worry, you'll be a big part
Yeah.
in 10 years.
Yeah. But they did two. They did one at the end of Avengers, and then the Guardians of the Galaxy end scene had him as well.
Oh yeah, because
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, he was in it. It wasn't end scene. It was like he was the person that Lee Pace's character, Ronan the Accuser, was working for.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ronan the Accuser got the Power Stone, yeah.
Yeah, it was power.
And was his first task was to destroy Xandar. Second was hunt down Thanos and kill him. He was in the movie.
Right, and then there's another end
Just in the
credit scene with
background.
Thanos where he puts the gauntlet on and
Says,
goes,
fine, I'll
thing
do
it-
it myself.
exactly.
Yeah, so he's been peppered throughout the series, and they're willing to do that. They're willing to just like,
But it
No, but
speaks to the long game they want to play, right?
yeah.
But to an actor, that sucks.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, again, but it's the long game. I mean, this is some of the problem that DC has, where they just want to smash everything in this movie to keep all the focus in this
Yep.
movie, and then next movie, okay, what did we do? How do we keep playing with all these spinning plates?
That's exactly what it is that Marvel's willing to set a few people aside for the sake of a good story.
Yeah.
And they're just like, no, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, you guys sit this one out. We'll have you in the next one.
Well, there was that thing with Wasp, and I think we've talked about it before, how there was this one woman that they originally cast, but she was like, no, I want to be in the movie as a hero, and they're
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah. Yep. That's
And
exactly
so
it.
she turned down the role, and then
Evangeline Lilly took it.
yeah,
Yep.
and then now she has like Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, they're very good at just telling their people. It's just like, listen, we're going to sign you to a multi-film deal. You're going to be asked to do some guest roles first, bit parts. It will lead to something bigger. And every person that's done it and gone along with it has a career. Like, do you
Yeah.
think Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan would be anything without the Marvel movies? No.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, they would. Sebastian Stan is well known. Mackie maybe not, but like
What has Sebastian Stan done?
he's done a lot of movies that you know of. And
But
it's
like,
one
you,
of those
you wouldn't know him.
No,
though.
but it's one of those random ones that I'll be watching a movie and go like, "Oh, damn, that's
Bucky.
Bucky.
Hey,
That's
Bucky.
the Winter Soldier. Look at him.
What's
He's like
that?
handing
He
out
doesn't even-
candy
he
to
has-
the
he has
kids.
2 arms and everything.
Yeah, look at him.
What's that?
Look at, is Doug Gugamaphoning it?
I am Google my phone.
Good, good.
He's Google-phoning.
Okay, so like there's that, but again, usually, and I'm glad you brought that point up. Usually they sideline important actors,
Yeah.
actors that have already established themselves. You're not gonna sideline like Scott Speedman. That guy's gonna lose his shit. You know who Scott Speedman is?
No.
He played the werewolf in fucking Underworld.
Oh God.
Yeah, he's like he's like from Toronto, and he's an actor, and
Yeah.
that's the only movie he's ever done.
All
He
right.
was in The Martian.
Scott Speedman,
No, Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah. But
The Martian with Matt Damon.
yeah.
Ridley Scott's science fiction film, The Martian.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So okay, so he's
Matt
done-
Damon.
but he but he's definitely a higher profile actor now because he decided, hey, they're going to give me this bit part in Captain America 1. They're going to bring me back for Captain America 2 kinda.
I don't know about that. I mean, he got a nomination for Critics' Choice TV Awards for Best Supporting Actor.
The what?
Best Critics Choice.
Critics' Choice TV Award for Best Supporting Actor.
By Nickelodeon.
Okay, yeah, but what role, Doug?
Political Animals.
Never heard of it. Again, his
He was
profile has
also
been
No.
in Gossip Girl.
But that's what I mean. How you'll be watching a random
And
ass
Once
movie
Upon
and
a-
be like,
Exactly.
damn,
because
that's
before Marvel, he was just an actor that had work, but now he's like people know him. He's almost a household name. At this
okay.
point.
Okay, I kind of disagree with you because now look at the life of Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
Okay, he's won Nickelodeon's Teen Choice Best Supporting Critics Actor.
He didn't
All
win.
right.
Didn't win. He was nominated.
He didn't even
He was
win.
nominated
Sorry.
for a Cable
So-
Ace Award.
So you see the struggle going on right now, and they're like, "Here, you're going to play a supporting actor." in Captain America. Every actor would jump at that.
Yeah.
Every actor. Okay.
Of course.
And then he dies in the movie. Whatever. He got his payday. He's happy. He was in Captain America 1. He's going to launch him all the way up to like CSI Miami status.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was in Captain America. And then Marvel's like, hey, how about you start getting into shape? And he's probably like, what? And then movie number 2, he's jacked. He's Sebastian Stan jacked.
Yeah.
Okay? And then he does that movie. And then they like him so much in that movie, he now has like reoccurring roles, signs him for like a whole bunch of movie deals. Now he's got one of the biggest Marvel contracts outside of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What
Well, I mean,
the fuck
look at the
that kid's
scientist
name?
in Thor. I forget what his name was. They brought him back for Avengers.
Who?
Just to, whoever the scientist was in
Oh
Thor.
yeah.
Was,
Selby.
Right, but
Yeah.
that's another example of him probably not having any other work. So
Yeah.
when Marvel wants to bring him back, he's jumping at that.
Yeah.
Whereas the flip side is Natalie Portman. They're like, "Hey, do you want to continue to be Jane?" And she's like, "Nah,"
Yeah.
because she's Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
She's won Oscars and can do anything she wants.
and that's the thing, right? With some of these smaller actors, they're happy to run the longer games.
They're not. They need the money.
Well, but they're happier to do it, right? Like, if Marvel was to say, like, oh, well, I
They're
don't need
desperate
you
to
anymore.
do it. That's the difference.
You
They're
should-
happy and desperate.
By the way, speaking of Natalie Portman, you should really watch the Wired autocomplete interview with Jude Law and Natalie Portman.
Why?
They're junketing another movie, right?
Okay.
And Jude Law, of course, is going to be Captain Marvel. So he uncovered some of the strips on the card. I don't know if you've seen this before, but they just like it's,
Oh, they did one of those. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen that with like Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds.
So they did one of those, and one of the questions was, "Is Jude Law Captain Marvel?" And he said, "No, I'm not Captain Marvel. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel." And he goes, "Oh, am I allowed to say that? Are the Marvel people watching? Am I going to get in trouble?" And like, as he's saying this, you can see Natalie Portman's face, just a little twinge of like, because like she's got a bad relationship with them, or not necessarily bad, but just like
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know, kind of like she's not going to comment. You know what I mean? She could jump in and say, "Oh, I was in those movies too. I know how they are," but no, she just stays silent throughout the whole thing.
But if Natalie
this
Portman,
twinge.
if she stuck around with it, could probably be the female Thor.
Yeah, she could have
Yeah.
been, except her character was shit. It was the shittiest character in all of Marvel.
Yeah, probably.
She
Yeah.
really was. She was just so weak and just fragile. The typical damsel in distress female heroine
Well, I
that's
mean,
just
she was-
offensive to feminists and men.
Well, like,
You know what I mean?
but like you have to be the opposite of Thor, and I guess so. No, that wouldn't make
Yeah.
sense. You would need to be strong for Thor to be attracted to you.
Yeah. Like
But he was.
her character was just a waste. That was back in the early days of Marvel, and they were still trying to necessitatively work in romances to every movie, which they stopped in later
Yeah.
films, and they realized not every film needs to have a romance. So that's that. That's why I think that's why that happened. That's why they got rid of Jane's character and fucking Betty Ross from fucking Hulk and was never mentioned again. So yeah, but my point is that Marvel has made a lot of actors, and they've done it through patience. And you're right. That's DC's problem is
Okay.
they're not willing to just splash in this person and that person and then ride it out.
I don't think it's because of that necessarily, because if you're an actor and you want to get into movies, you have to do a superhero movie in today's day and age.
Oh, yeah.
The last 10 years have been dominated by superhero movies.
Yeah, it's true. It's nice
There's
to see.
no way to do it without being a superhero.
It's really nice to see. It's like, oh yeah, look at all these Oscar-winning films. A Star is Born squashed the next week by a superhero movie. Oh look, it's Moonlight squashed by Spider-Man. Oh look, it's fucking this Art Piece by Roman Polanski, the child rapist, squashed by fucking Deadpool.
Yeah.
It's like every week the box office just comes out and it's like they get shat on by a comic book character.
The only okay, and
But I'm getting a little sick of every 3 months. Let's just rip open a new comic.
can
What,
you
you are? I'm not.
can you name one that hasn't, like, Tom Cruise hasn't become famous because of a superhero movie because he's Tom Cruise, but even people like George Clooney
Yeah.
had to do the superhero thing
Yeah.
just to like make it into other movies.
Yeah.
And the only example I can think of off the top of my head who probably fought it for so fucking long, and
Brad
there's-
Pitt.
Brad Pitt, yeah, but he was
He was
again
big beforehand, though.
before.
All the people who were big before superhero movies don't really count. And when I say before, I'm thinking the line is really drawn at Spider-Man 1.
Okay, so
The early Batman doesn't. The Batman doesn't really count.
Brad Pitt is still holding out, and the only other person I can see holding out who still is Matt Damon. Speaking of,
Yeah.
but like Ben Affleck fell long ago to the superhero movies, right? Jake Gyllenhaal just recently fell to the superhero movies.
Finally, after reportedly a lot of discussions with Marvel. Apparently, he was asked many times to do something, and he refused every time. Just mainly on account of random shit like scheduling conflicts and whatnot. So, interesting.
Yep.
He's been a fan for a long time, he says.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, like obviously you would want to get into that because like he's part of now the bro trio of Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and now Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
But again, I think we've talked about this. How Jake Gyllenhaal just seems like he's the third wheel in the bromance.
Yep.
There always got to be a third wheel in the bromance. Come on now.
Yeah.
Look at this bromance here. I'm the third wheel. We got that.
Because so far, have you seen some of the stuff Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds have been doing to each other recently to promote each other's companies?
Oh my god. Yeah,
Oh,
the
that's
commercial
brilliant.
with the whiskey. Oh
Yeah.
my fucking god. So good.
It's like, I thought we were going to prank each other.
That's very obviously it was scripted. It was set up, but
Yeah.
it's still very funny.
I mean,
Anyway, back on topic.
sure.
So we know about the Tesseract, we know about the time
But we
vortex.
think we know about the Tesseract.
Yeah.
We think we know about the time vortex.
And we know about what else do we know about the Captain Marvel movie? Oh, new fucking Magic Eye images were released on Twitter that we figured out prior to recording.
Well, I mean,
One of them was telling.
figured
Four of them were bullshit, but there was one that had a Skrull head next to a guy whose character we didn't know.
Yeah.
Looked like a cop of some kind.
Mm-hmm. An agent.
And then it looked like in the 3D image that he was a Skrull. They were implying, ooh, he's a Skrull. This guy's a Skrull. He's Jay Leno. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of those images, though extremely nostalgic of the 90s. Like, come on, they could have done better with it.
I'm going to do the rest of this podcast as Jay Leno, by the way.
No.
And the other thing about Captain Marvel is he comes out March 8th, huh? What do you think about that, Kevin?
All right, yeah. I'm already done with this.
Yep.
Just going to mute my mic now.
Anyway.
Okay, so, so that's Captain Marvel. And going forward, past Endgame, they're probably going to have Quantum Realm shenanigans.
Yeah.
It's going to play a huge part, and that's probably how they're going to introduce Mr. Fantastic. He's going to do a whole bunch of Quantum Realm stuff.
Yeah, Quantum Realm stuff, quote unquote.
Simply because, like...
He's the smart guy.
He's the smart guy that
the smartest of the smart guys.
He always, like, dealt with alternate dimensions and stuff and ways to traverse them and all kinds of things like that. So, the Quantum Realm will be right up his alley in current Marvel... standings.
So I have a question though.
Okay.
Sure.
So the Curse of Death for a lot of movie franchises, it was true of the Ninja Turtles. It was true of others I just can't think of right now.
What,
it was true of
introducing a
Jason.
female
It was
character?
true of Jason.
It's the
The
time
Friday the
travel
13th.
thing.
The time,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's as soon as you start traveling through time, you ruin your franchise. So is that what we're witnessing here? Is the collapse of the Marvel Cinematic Universe going to happen because they start getting super overly complicated with timelines?
If it starts becoming self-wrapping, then yeah, we're going to probably see some real issues. But if it becomes, going back into a totally different time frame, or we use the Quantum Realm to go to a different Earth, maybe an Earth that has mutants or an Earth that has the Fantastic Four, right? Then maybe it's not going to be an issue, right? Time travel is only an issue if it becomes a key or a MacGuffin within that actual movie. Show, episode, movie. I'd pick the right one.
Okay, so what you're saying is, again, what? What did you say there?
I was saying that the movies that became problems because it used time travel as the MacGuffin.
Right.
right?
That was what the movie was about,
Yeah,
as
If-
opposed to just being there.
Right? So if we use the quantum realm to see other Earths, because Marvel is well to do with this is not all of the Earth, this is not all of the universes, it's a multiverse. If this is the way to walk between them, and this is our way to see the X-Men, this is our way to see, the Fantastic Four in separate Earths, that's why we just haven't seen them here.
See, what I
Maybe
want
that's
is,
it.
what I want is them to step out of some portal into an alternate Earth, like Earth 616 or whatever other Earth, and then like they just step into a bedroom and there's fucking Magneto banging Mystique. That's basically what I want to see.
So in other words, you want to see the triple X.
So more Jennifer Lawrence.
More Jennifer
More
Lawrence in
Jennifer
blue
Lawrence.
makeup. That's pretty much my dream.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe that's what the quantum realm is going to give us.
Who do you think could play a new Wolverine? I remember one of those comedy websites were saying, what's his name? Something Sarah.
Michael Cera.
Yeah. The reason is
That'd be great.
the reason is their number one reason is that he's looked the same for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
That's a valid point.
All they have to do is make him jacked, which is easy enough to do for Marvel.
Yeah.
You know who I think could do it? Honestly, you're gonna laugh, but I
Hugh
think
Jackman?
he's got the
Yeah.
face. No, I think he's got the face and the body. Zac Efron. I really think he could do it.
Do you think
Yeah.
He has the hair. He has
acting
the Greek
chops?
hair. He's just like got that mane and the thick eyebrows.
Yeah.
Like he really does have that look about him.
Yeah, actually,
maybe.
you're right. He could, and he's got the body for it.
He's young enough that he could pull it
He's
off.
like 30 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a good candidate. Hollywood, if you're listening, and he's up and coming. Like as a serious actor, he's going to be starring in that that Ted Bundy biopic. That
Yeah.
apparently is getting really good early reviews.
And
so.
before that, he was in Baywatch.
Yeah, absolutely. He was in Baywatch, and he was on Nickelodeon or some shit, right?
Yeah.
That's where he got to start,
He's
He
been
right?
on
got
a lot
to
of
start
stuff.
on High School Musical.
Right.
Yeah.
And Hairspray.
Was it
Yeah.
Hairspray?
Yeah, that as well. Yes.
Really? Okay.
Oh
'cause
yes, I remember.
Who else got their start? Oh, Grease, which is the best romance of our generation.
Yes, of course. It taught me how to love. Anyway, moving on.
And I knew I had to wear black leather to get girls.
So this is our last episode before Captain Marvel becomes a thing and it exists in the
is
free
it?
universe. It
Is
is.
it?
Yes, you dummy. It's not next
No,
Thursday.
that's Saturday.
Doug,
Isn't it?
it's releasing on Thursday.
Thursday.
Oh, I thought it was.
So even if we do a Friday recording next week, who hired this guy?
Actually, you did.
You pay him?
Yeah.
Come on, I'm not getting paid.
We had a discussion. It was
Yeah, union. Yeah, union. So,
derp.
so anyway,
Let's just go on to their next topic.
no. Captain Marvel. This is the last thing. We have to think about some predictions about Captain Marvel. We got to talk about some things we think are going to happen in that movie. So, let's go over some plot predictions. So we know it's going to be Skrulls invading the Earth,
Yeah.
right? That's what they're sort of setting us up for. And the Kree force are there to help for some reason. But why? What? My question to you is,
No.
what's their motivation?
Here's what's gonna happen. Who's gonna play the biggest role in this fucking movie?
Ben Mendelsohn, who plays the villain,
No. The biggest person in this movie.
is the cat.
No.
Is Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
Is Brie Larson.
No.
Who?
Coulson.
Is okay. All right.
Coulson is gonna be, because he was the linchpin for Avengers. And I think now that because they're going back to the 90s when Coulson was still an agent,
Right.
he will linchpin it again. He will linchpin from the past.
In what way? Is he,
And-
going to be the motivating force? They're like,
No,
do you think
he-
Captain Marvel's
I
going to
don't-
kind of fall in love with him?
I don't think
No.
he's going to be the motivating force, but he might be the thing that brings the goober to Endgame. Like the deliverer of the goober,
Whatever the goober is.
whatever the goober is.
I have a feeling the Goober will actually be the Tesseract, and that's probably why this war began, is because some knowledge of this Tesseract exists. The Skrulls want it. It would make their life easy.
I don't think that, but I don't think Coulson's going to be in it for,
No.
the Hawkeye scene in
No.
Thor, right?
Yeah.
Like I think Coulson will be there mostly as, background window dressing with Samuel L. We know they're going to be there. They're not going to be the primary characters. It's going to be Brie Larson primarily. These are going to be supporting characters. But we will remember them and we'll be interested to find out why, Samuel L. is wearing the patch or why Coulson has this huge addiction.
So specific questions then I'll pose to you rather than throwing out for general theories. Are we going to understand how Samuel L. Jackson loses his eye in this movie?
100%.
That's happening.
100%.
Okay. Are we going to get any major scroll reveals of major characters that have already existed in the Marvel Universe?
Define that question better.
Yeah.
So let's say, are we going to find out that so-and-so has been a Skrull all along?
Yeah, because that will push the next phase.
Yeah.
This is the groundwork to set up the next phase.
So
I'll tell you why. Because specifically, the next few a big comic book event that happened in Marvel was the Skrull invasion.
Mm-hmm.
So now that they're introducing Skrulls in this movie, one of the prime candidates would be Captain America.
You think Captain America this whole time has been a Skrull?
Yes.
That's your guess.
That's my guess.
Oh, that's a bold guess. That would be a great explanation as to why Chris Evans is leaving too. Is because it's revealed and then the guy is gone.
Yes.
That would be earth-shattering. That would break everyone's heart in half.
Yes.
And you could form a dildo out of my heart and fuck me with it, and it would be less painful.
The whole time was a Skrull.
Who else do you think is a good candidate for Skrulldom? Think about it now. Think about it seriously. Go back in time. I think Anthony Mackie's character is a great candidate because think about how he shows up Winter Soldier. It's very convenient, isn't it? It's like Captain America's out running, suddenly encounters this dude who strikes up a conversation with him. Men don't talk to each other when they're working out, especially if they don't know each other. What's that about?
It's
like he just happens to make friends with a guy who everybody knows to be a fucking superhero. Like obviously the guy's living a high profile life as it is. He's trying to lay low, just put on his hat and go jogging. And this motherfucker's like, hey, bitch, you want to run any faster there? Yeah, everybody in the universe.
Okay, no, but Chris Evans kind of egged on that by saying like coming through.
On your left.
Going
on the left.
Yeah.
It's true, but still, it seems like just very convenient placement.
I mean, if we go through all the movies, we can find convenient placement for a lot of people.
So who aren't? Iron Man's not.
Sure.
There's no way.
No way Iron Man is.
And we know that Hulk can't.
Thor isn't because he's magical. Yeah. You know this. Like you see him do his things.
I don't think. I mean, Hawkeye.
I mean, maybe. I'm sure. I'm absolutely certain an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be exposed as a Skrull.
Yeah.
And in fact, I actually think that's going to be a TV focus. I think the next season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will involve the Skrulls. Okay. And one of their characters may come out as one. Trying to tie into the movies.
I would think the senators, like a
Senator
raft
Stern,
of senators, probably,
who's now dead or in jail.
In jail,
presumably. But yeah, he could be.
No, I don't.
Some
think
of the
he
Hydra
is.
people.
Again, I don't think they are. If they're Skrulls, they wouldn't actually be imprisoned.
You think so? They wouldn't just play along?
They could,
again, the
but they'd have to have an end game set up to escape as the character. Like,
but of the heroes, who do you think then? Let's just focus on the heroes.
It's Captain America.
You think it's just Captain America who's been a Skrull the whole time?
Could also be Winter Soldier.
It seems less plausible, though, doesn't it?
Winter Soldier's less plausible because I don't think a Skrull who's an information gatherer for his race would let himself be frozen for eras at a time.
Well, that's what Captain America was in the iceberg.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When was Captain America replaced? Maybe he's
afterwards.
still in an iceberg.
Okay, you can say the same thing about Winter Soldier.
Right, but like Winter Soldier was continually like thawed. For some reason, I'm thinking de-iced. Thawed.
Yeah, they put a bit of salt on him.
And then refroze, and then thawed, refroze, because they would only call him out for like Winter Soldier missions.
Fair.
Right, and I don't think a Skrull would knowingly thaw and refreeze.
Again, it's if they decide to play long games.
They did mind control, mind wiping stuff to Bucky, where if it was a Skrull, those things probably wouldn't work on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's a valid point.
What do you think about Maria Hill as a Skrull?
Which one's that? His girlfriend?
No, it's the other agent of Shield.
Oh,
that's-
the one that
It's
Robin
Smulders.
Robin from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, I never watched that show, but sure. Kobe Smulders, the brown-haired one.
Yes, that's
yeah,
Robin.
I think
I don't
some
think so.
agents of Shield will be, and I think
EO,
she's a good candidate.
I think we're gonna find that some agents of Shield, some agents of Hydra.
Black
some-
Widow.
Nah, I don't
No,
think so.
she's getting her own movie. She's getting her own movie.
Getting her own movie.
That might be good.
I don't think they would do that.
How
mean-
about this? How about
No.
Spider-Man? Tom Holland's
Oh.
character turns out his powers that make him appear to be spider-like are actually just Skrull abilities that he's concealing. You know what I mean?
That might be Jake Gyllenhaal then,
Yeah.
Could be Mysterio as a Skrull. Yeah.
doing all these magical abilities,
Yep.
super Skrull style.
So are you saying the Skrull that theoretically the Skrull that went off to whatever Titan it was, I think,
Yeah.
was actually the Skrull and the real Spider-Man's still here,
That could be true. Yeah.
and therefore it was weird when he got
we're getting into
snapped.
Star Trek Deep Space Nine territory here, where the changelings are just infiltrating and taking
Yeah.
over everything. It's hard possible to say because they're shapeshifters, which makes them interesting. That's what makes them.
It
Interesting
makes them a
characters,
MacGuffin in and of themselves.
Yeah.
Because now you can just be like, he's a Skrull, you're a Skrull.
But I think definitely in Captain Marvel we will get a major reveal about a character being a Skrull all along, and that will be the one that blows the internet up.
I would like.
and that might be the end scene, in fact.
Well, I would. That's why I'm figuring there's actually going to be a handful of end scenes.
Well, there's gonna be two for sure. There's always two now.
Well, I was going to say there's probably actually like 3.
no, there's never been 3. There's always 2. There's
You
a
wait.
mid credits and a post credits.
You wait.
Usually the post credits one though, or at least the when it started, was the comedy one,
Yeah.
right?
But I don't think that's going to be the case in this case. We're going to get we'll probably get the end game reveal first. We'll get some like a major plot twist reveal second, and then you'll get your comedy third, like a shawarma scene.
Okay. All right. I'm good with that answer.
Guys, what's going on with Will Smith?
Oh, I don't know.
He is.
So I was
Pencil
thinking
head.
in my head for the longest time about this. And I was thinking one of my biggest gold mine ideas was to have a website that's kind of like HSX, the Hollywood Stock Exchange, where you buy and sell celebrities and invest in their profile.
Yep.
But it's purely based on social media perception and influence. So whether someone's hot right now or not right now.
No, in
And-
that case, like The Rock is in the top 3.
You tell if you're being serious or not. He's not in the top 3. He's doing okay, I'd say. He's not the top 3 though.
What
So
would
top
you put him
3
as?
Celebrities like Elon Musk is number 1 right now.
Is he?
The internet's in love with that guy. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And Stefan Carl Stephenson.
Who the fuck's that?
Anyway, he's from. He's the guy who died of cancer, but he was in Lazy Town. He's an internet meme anyway. But yeah, no other guys. Steve Irwin's definitely got internet cred.
Yeah,
Right?
well, the
Like-
internet loves him. I
Yeah.
was saying this to you earlier, how the internet holds Steve Irwin in Pope-like regard.
Yeah, it's true. Really, they
Like
do.
whenever anyone attacks Steve Irwin, the whole internet goes to his defense.
Or like Gordon Ramsay's another good one. Like people love Gordon Ramsay. But like Will Smith is headed towards the bottom.
there
of
was
that
a
list.
whole comic about it. Like, dude invents a time machine. His friend's like, "Oh, okay, cool. Now that you got a time machine, you gonna go back in time and like kill Hitler?" He's like, "No, I'll do something more meaningful." And then cut scene. It's him in Australia with a bathing suit on and a Coast Guard outfit. And he goes, No, Mr. Irwin, you cannot swim by the reef. It's closed today. And he's like, "Oh, Jiminy Cricket. Okay, I'll just go film somewhere
Oh,
else."
Crocky then. It's all right. I'll go wrestle a crocodile. Anyway,
And then he doesn't die from a stingray.
yeah.
I'm gonna make real change in this world.
But in any event, I think that list, Will Smith is rapidly approaching the bottom of it. His YouTube channel is occasionally cringy. Sometimes it's interesting, but it's occasionally cringy. Like when he talked about how he turned down The Matrix, that was interesting. Just him chatting about how he couldn't fit it in and chose to do Wild Wild West instead, and that was his biggest mistake. But he said he's glad it worked out that way because if he had taken it, the plan was to make Morpheus white. And he just thought that not having Lawrence Fishburne in that role would have been disastrous. So, and I think he's right.
But who would they have picked then? Do you think
to
to be Morpheus?
Oh, good question.
Like if you're
Who
taking,
could be a white Morpheus? Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, actually, that would have been fine. Okay, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah,
Anthony
like-
Hopkins would have been an excellent Morpheus. Jack Nicholson would have made an excellent Morpheus, I think.
Oh, I don't
No,
think so. He would-
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No way.
You gotta reshape the character a bit, but I think he would have been great in
No,
that
I
role.
think he would have been
No.
too
Listen,
manic.
listen, son. You can take the red pill or the fucking blue pill. And either one you take, I really don't give a shit.
Okay,
So
so
at that point, why don't we just put George Carlin in that role and just be like, make it really fucking crazy?
who was the blonde-haired stocky guy who died?
Blonde-haired, stocky guy.
He was in
Sam
like
Kinison.
no, he was in like Mission Impossible 3 as a villain.
What the fuck?
I'll think of his name
Dolph
later.
Lundgren.
No, he's dead now.
Is he?
The guy I'm talking about is dead
Oh,
now.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes.
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 He would have made a good Morpheus.
Okay. So I mean, it's not like it would
I'm
have
so
been
glad you got that so quickly.
Wow.
From Dolph Lundgren.
I was like, Chris Farley? No. The short, stocky, blonde guy. Oh, Chris Farley. I live in a van down by the river.
They got blue
I
pills.
don't really care what pill you eat because I'm still eating pills in a van down by the river.
Oh, Chris Farley.
Anyway.
At the end of the day, I don't think it would have been as bad. I think, it would have been just slightly different.
Will Smith sucks, right? Like we're firmly in
Well,
the camp.
I don't know why. Okay, so my question is he has officially turned down Suicide Squad 2.
Yep.
Run by James Gunn.
Yep.
Yeah.
That seems like career suicide to me.
Yeah.
Well,
the
he's in
potential
Aladdin,
turnaround film
so-
for DC, and he turned it down.
He turned that down, but he was okay with number 1, the shitty one.
Yep.
Turned down number 2, which is possibly going to be the best one,
Yep.
especially since all the characters are established. Now, in the superhero era, number 2 movies are way better than number 1.
It's true.
Just because
Origin stories suck.
they've gotten past
Well,
the
you
origin
don't have
story
to play with
suckiness.
garbage.
Yep, it's true. Very true. All good points. So does he suck now? Is he so firmly entrenched in the bad? It started with YouTube Rewind. Well, it maybe started before then, but I think it really hit its sucking stride when he did YouTube Rewind. He was like, aha, look at that, that's hot.
I think
Mark-ass Brownlee
I
and
think
Fortnite.
his downfall, his Hollywood downfall, because he was a blockbuster king. Every movie he put out made millions upon millions of dollars. Was the movie he did with his son called After Earth.
Yes, that was the
Yeah.
beginning of his downfall, I would say. That's the turning point. And it didn't help that, I think there were little elements as well that got him started too. Like when he played Ali. No, not Ali. No, it wasn't.
No, that
Ali,
when
I think he did well in.
He did well in Ali. It's when he played Nelson Mandela and did the shitty accent
Oh, yeah, okay.
recently. That got him in a lot of shit as well.
Yeah, and then there's Aladdin, so good luck
And the
with that.
Scientology stuff.
Scientology stuff, and now
the connection to
he's
Scientology.
I
But
wanna
now
see
the
if he
thing is
really is.
because he is the genie in Aladdin.
Yeah, that's what really did it. It was YouTube Rewind and then the genie reveal, and everyone was like, okay, that's it. I'm done.
yeah.
Fuck
I-
this.
I-
You had a chance with Independence Day 3, but no.
He fucking did it with that, and I think one of the big issues is you're going up against such a heavyweight contender that you cannot possibly beat because he is so revered of animated Robin Williams.
Yep.
Like, how do you live action beat animated Robin Williams?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
You cannot. You
There's
cannot do
one
better
guy-
than that.
There's one guy who has filled a Robin Williams role. I don't think it's the exact role, but he's filled a Robin Williams role and done it well, and that's Jack Black. So he took over for Jumanji, did he not? Isn't he playing the same character, or is it a different character?
No, the characters don't even enter.
They don't even line up. But anyway, it's the comic relief of Jumanji.
Sure, I mean, he's
and he's stepping into it well. Because Jack Black is of the same caliber, in my opinion. Jack Black's internet profile is very high. I think the internet loves him. His YouTube channel is doing quite well, and
I
rightfully
think it's
so.
a love-hate relationship with Jack Black. Like,
No one hates
He
Jack
he
Black.
just
didn't
Jack
say
Black
they
put out a
hate.
video recently of him doing like a shitty workout
Yeah.
with like these 2.5 pound
Yeah,
weights,
yeah.
and it was named Jacked Black.
nice.
Like
No, I mean, it's not that people hate him. It's just like they will like some of what he does and then just not even care for
And then
the
he'll
other
do
stuff.
Kung Fu Panda, and then they won't care. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. But
Well,
the one he
no,
did, did you
well-
see the video he did where he
okay,
called out
but
Ninja?
Kung Fu Panda is one of those things where he did the first time because his popularity was high when Kung Fu Panda first came out, and that was great. And then he signed on for number 2 because he hadn't had any work for a while, and he did number 3 because he still hadn't had a lot of work in a long while.
Yeah.
And he he tried taking off on his own with like Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny or
Yeah.
whatever, the guitar Pick of Destiny.
He did a video game called Brutal Legend that was pretty good.
Yeah, like he tried doing stuff on his own, and that kind of felt mediocre.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of disappeared into the background.
Yeah, yeah. But he's got high internet cred. His YouTube channel is doing very well. The video where he calls out Ninja was amazing. He's like, Ninja, you stole my Delgado. An Elgato, which of course is a streaming device, but he calls it a Delgado. That's kind of the joke. He's like, you stole it, so I can't start my gaming videos. So I'm going to record him a video message. And he records him a video message in anger, like, yes, bro, give me back my Delgado, or it's going down. And then it's like, oh, God, he replied. So then you cut to Ninja, and it's not the streamer Ninja. It's the Ninja, the rapper from DeAntword. Who's like, well, what the fuck, Jack Black? You're talking about me stealing your fucking Delgado. What the fuck is that, man? And he's just like full South African accent, just cussing him out. It's great. And they're friends. Like, Jack Black has done 2 of his videos.
Okay.
That's how they know each other.
Right.
Makes
So
sense.
it was a bit, but it's so good. He's doing the YouTube thing well.
Yeah.
It's sincere. It's from the heart. So that's how you do it. Will Smith is just fucking everything up.
Jack Black though got basically his restart to his career because of the Jumanji video. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
his YouTube has only started to take off because of Jumanji.
Yeah,
I mean, before that, he was.
What did
King
he do
Kong.
before Jumanji?
King Kong?
yeah.
And that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. Oh, he also had School of Rock. And,
Oh, that was a great movie. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
But
mean,
no, School of Rock though, that was when he was still in the height of his career.
that's what I'm
before.
saying. It was School of Rock, and then a bit of a break, and then King Kong, which was his serious role.
But it was
and
okay. Like it wasn't.
It was fine, but it was his serious role. And I mean,
He's
this
done some
is-
great serious roles actually
Sure.
that no one's seen, which is unfortunate because he is a very talented actor and
yeah,
singer.
and I think that's something that is able to be imparted through a lot of his stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, so Will Smith sucks. Is there any chance for Will Smith to come back?
Sure.
Of course, yeah, of course there is.
All right. Well, how does it happen in your mind? What does Will Smith do to redeem himself in the eyes of the public?
I mean, it's going to take some real effort. I mean, he'll have to, wear off the stink of Genie.
And he'll have to. I mean, okay, that movie still might be good. You never know. Probably not. If it's just Aladdin in live action, it's going to be fucking terrible.
Yeah, no, it can't be good. I don't
No.
think it's gonna
I
be
mean,
good.
It's
You can't fight against an animated Robin Williams.
No.
Like
No,
you can't.
The only way he might have a chance is if it was real life Robin Williams versus real life Will Smith.
Well, because he's dead.
Well,
You
no,
gonna
but
drag
like,
his corpse out.
but like if it was
Maybe.
a role that Robin Williams did, like, fuck, what was
Like
Robin
Patch
Williams really
Adams?
good at? Yeah, it would have to be something like Patch Adams.
Yeah.
But there's no way those two would ever go up
No.
again. Like it's.
Like, yeah, he's right. Like, it.
But Will Smith is one of those. He's one of those perennial Hollywood stars. Even if he goes a little crazy right now and gets a little cringy and a little weird,
There's always going to be opportunities.
there's gonna be an opportunity for him, and he will land an opportunity and nail that role. Like he usually, he's Will Smith. Like he's not gonna just disappear.
Yeah, I don't know.
He'll just release a new rap album, 3 years from now, and shit'll just be fine.
When
life
he
will be
releases another rap album, you know things are bad for him.
Yep, it's true. He's too old for that shit. He shouldn't be doing it. But he might. You're right. He might.
Or
fine. And people will be
he'll
okay
just
with
take on one more Men in Black movie. Or because they're rebooting Men in Black, he'll show up in the Men in Black movie.
Yeah. They're not officially rebooting it. It's a new storyline in a different continent. I don't think they're casting aside the old lore. It's just another MIB office in London.
Okay.
So I don't think.
It's gonna feel like Kingsman. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
So, but whatever the case is, Will Smith sucks.
Well, I mean, he doesn't suck. He is just his
Um,
online presence.
Yeah, I just
is
think he's lost touch.
absolutely ass.
He's just.
He's lost. You're right. That's
He really
the exact
has lost
words.
touch. Like his interviews, we've seen him on the Graham Norton show and on YouTube. He's just something about him. He's got that Scientology crazy in him.
Well,
Where
I
it's
mean-
just that he's disconnected from reality, like Tom Cruise is, and his eyes are soulless now.
Well,
I
mean,
swear to God, something's going on with that thing.
I hate to say
I'm
it.
really afraid of it.
He's just got like a little twist in him that's not the way it used to be.
I know.
And
But
you're
he's
like,
a Skrull.
what is the twist? And yeah, that's essentially what it is.
He's
You
a
get this
Skrull.
Skrull
Got it.
mentality.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
Just like something's just a little off. Like something's cracked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like a thing in your, like when your windshield chips. You're not sure if it's an actual crack yet, or if it's just like a smudge on the windshield, and you're like,
Yeah, it's okay. I'll
What
leave it
is
alone
it?
for a while. The next thing you know, bam! It's
Bam.
murdering people.
yeah.
Taking them out to secret Scientology compounds, ass raping them with theta meters.
Man, I cut out of Scientology at a good time.
Yes, that's true. Greg did take a Scientology test for fun.
Oh, we should all do it one
I'm
day.
technically a Scientologist right now.
Is that
Technically.
actually true? Did they
There's-
let you in?
There's a contract somewhere
Yeah.
that says I am.
Really?
Yeah.
You signed it?
Yeah.
You have to actually take that first audit.
Wow. Okay.
Actually,
So
yeah.
technically, I'm a Scientologist.
Didn't you ever wonder about the one on Young Street? Just want to go in and do?
I did want to go
I
in and
did.
do
My
it.
brother's
I
the one
know.
that hooked me up with it.
And your brother's a Scientologist.
He's like in it.
That's fucking
My
bizarre.
my brother's weird though. Like
Yeah.
he's
I mean-
he's definitely got that little.
Is he your only sibling?
No.
Oh, you have a sister?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is she a Scientologist?
No.
Is your mom a Scientologist? Is your
No
dad?
one else in my family.
No
is
one at all? It's
Scientologist.
just that guy?
just my brother.
Are you
Just
sure
that
it's
guy.
not Skrull?
Maybe he is.
I mean, he did try to feed you a rollover once.
he
So good.
successfully did it too.
Yeah, the motherfucker. No.
That's how you knew that Scientology.
I'm on to you, Greg's brother.
But he's also an inventor,
Uh-oh.
Oh, really? What did he invent?
and
The rollover.
no, he's also an inventor, and here's the kicker, which you guys will laugh at:
Oh, God.
anti-vax.
What?
Oh,
A
God.
Scientologist
Yeah,
anti-vaxxer? I don't know
know.
what's real at first.
He's an anti-vaxxer Scientologist.
God,
Oh, my God. Is he flat
where do you
earther, too?
start?
I doubt it.
Oh, God.
See, like I know,
He's older than you.
yeah,
Oh.
I know the Earth is round just because my life has been going steadily downhill ever since high school.
There you go.
So
How-
you must be.
How is that possible if the Earth is flat?
You're right. Yeah. Oh, God.
No, but
Oh,
you
God,
know
he
what? Like,
probably is a flat earther.
my nephews, they're vaxxed. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But you know, when I creep his profiles and stuff, and I see him in online arguments. Most of his points are just like, "Well, show me the proof. Show me the proof."
So we just take the 50 years
50
of
years of MMR
proof.
vaccines reducing MMR to nothing?
Yeah,
yeah,
Like,
or
it's-
polio vaccines.
but like
that
the thing
basically
is
wiped it out
on
until, like,
when
the
you
last 20
when you
years.
internet argue with someone, the other person, when you start just kind of repeating that, the other person tends to just be like, "Oh, fuck this," and they're more likely to just give up
Yeah.
than they are to actually go and find cited references
Yeah.
for
yeah.
all of your points.
God, I hate people, eh? So
No,
fucking stupid.
I hate stupid people. There's a difference. I'm okay if people are rational and sane, like have a reasonable and rational discussion.
You know what? My brother was always incredibly charismatic when it came to talking with people.
Yeah.
And because of that, like he could have been an amazing salesman because he was so good at selling things like that. Even
Yeah.
when politicians came by his place, he fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, come on in. Yeah, have a seat at the table. Let's do this.
God.
Like he was ready.
Well, idiot brothers aside, do we have any other topics this week? What else are we talking about today? We talked about this earlier. Now we don't have anything to talk about. Are we
No,
done?
what's left on the list?
We didn't write it down.
I didn't write it down.
Oh,
did I?
I thought you
But
wrote
we
it down.
talked. Okay, so we talked about Will Smith. We talked about that. You had a point.
Oh, we did talk about the social justice crap either.
No, we didn't talk about that.
SCWing, yeah.
You had something you were going to talk to us about.
No, I was just saying that.
Was it a top 10?
No. Fuck that noise.
Nice.
It's a little shot.
Yeah. No, it was Frakes is signed on to do directing for the
Jonathan Frakes returning to Star Trek as a director for the new Picard series.
Yep.
Great podcasting, guys.
Yep, that's right.
What were our topics?
What were we talking about?
I don't even face
You said
the
something
screen.
about stuff. What was that stuff? I wasn't listening.
But yeah, no,
Frakes
he's coming
is
back,
back.
which means there's the possibility he comes back as an actor in that series.
I would also think that maybe if Frakes is coming back to direct, that we might also have some other cameos from other Star Trek properties.
Isn't Frank's fat now, though?
No, he got into game shape.
What?
No, he's like seriously fit and looks good.
Even though he's got a fucked up back.
Yeah.
And he's really thin and he's in good shape, and he let his hair go totally gray. So like it's like white now. It's like silver foxy.
Like a
He
ghost?
looks good.
Like a ghost?
Like a fucking
Like
like
a
a ghost. Like a ghost.
Like
Oh my
a-
god.
But I mean,
Oh,
like,
it's ghost, eh?
Oh my
don't
God,
get me
he's a
wrong.
ghost.
I'd
It's
like
a
to see
ghost.
LeVar Burton come back,
What?
reprise a little LaForge.
But like, so the thing about Star Trek, see Barclay, right? You remember
Yep.
Barclay?
I remember Barkley.
We all
Great
remember
character.
Barclay.
In Voyager, when the ratings were dropping, they brought him into Voyager to help bump the ratings.
Yep.
Now, it turned out that the character fit really well into what they wrote him in for, which
Yeah.
was the Pathfinder project to try and get Voyager back to Earth, which is perfect for Barclay. He's obsessive. You couldn't ask for a better fit. But that's what Star Trek does to boost ratings
Yeah.
when things aren't going so well.
Right. They
So
put
I don't think
O'Brien on Deep Space Nine originally.
Exactly. That's a good example. Worf.
Yep.
Put him on Deep Space Nine for the same reason. And Troy was in Voyager. Troy. They put Troy in Voyager somehow.
Troy. Deanna Troy?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was Barclay's counselor during the whole debacle of
Really?
Pathfinder. Yeah. She was in Voyager.
Isn't
So-
she married to Frank's?
Not in real life, you dummy.
Who's didn't Frank's marry like a co-star or
First of all, it's
something?
not Frank's. He's not a goddamn package of hot dogs.
Well, might as well be.
It's Frakes.
Frank's.
Yeah, like Frosted Frakes.
Oh, God.
Ah, frosted Frank's.
Oh.
The frosting's white like a ghost.
Like a ghost?
The
God.
frosted flakes
All
are
right, okay.
Frank's.
Anyway, that's what Star Trek does. So my theory is that we won't get cameos of old characters until or unless the new Picard show, due out in 2020 sometimes, starts to tank.
I think they're gonna splice it through. Not like throw your load right on first episode.
Throw your load.
Throw your load.
Throw your load. You put it into your hand. You jerk off in your hand, and you just overhand
Throw
hook
it.
it right at someone's face.
That's called the Spider-Man, by the way.
That's right.
Yep. No, that's an underhand. The Spider-Man is when you underhand the load. When you overhand the load, that's called the Nolan Ryan.
Oh, I thought that was the Roger Clemens.
The Roger Clemens, yeah.
There you go. So
Whatever, baseball player.
Yeah.
there you
The
go.
Tom Brady. Football.
There
That's when
you
you
go.
sidearm it.
A
nice spiral.
So, yeah, you got to get the spiral.
And
yeah.
of course, you take the air out of it first by sucking on it.
Ah.
Oh!
Flake
Oh.
cake.
So topical for quite a while ago.
Yeah, anyway. So I don't think
Yeah.
that's going to happen until that particular fate befalls
Okay.
the show, which it might, honestly.
Disagree. They might have
Disagree.
a few characters on the first episode for the off actor,
Yeah.
and then they'll continue with the storyline, and then when the ratings drop, that's when they'll bring them back.
I see. Okay. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I guess.
First episode off actor.
Yeah. We'll have to see. It's a long ways away. They're still
Because
developing
you
shows.
want to
Well-
start to watch it because the gang's getting back together, boys.
Now-
I
this
do
is-
hope they have a gang getting back together episode
Well,
totally
hold on.
will.
where they're
Let's-
all old and like they can't work shit anymore.
Let's not forget this is an all access show.
Yeah.
So because they're gonna probably put up a whole bunch right away, like, and then just slowly chip it, like opening it up to the public. It could be that they have a whole bunch there to keep people coming back.
Okay.
Like, I have a feeling, just like you're right, it's off actor, but they'll go off actor 1, off for like 4 episodes, off actor 6, just to make sure people keep coming back.
So you don't think they're gonna have a big buddy team up? Where
No,
they
I
get
don't think
They get
so.
to take the Enterprise out of mothballs.
No. I
Like,
mean,
we gotta-
they've clearly pointed out this is way after.
'Kay.
This is Hobus.
I'm gonna ask both of you as the intense Star Trek fanboys that you are.
Yep.
You know how they have Star Trek episodes where they see images of themselves in the future, and like there's actually an episode of TNG where Data had a white streak in his
Yeah.
hair and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That is old Data.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think there will ever be a scene in the new Picard show where at some point he has to talk to his younger self because his younger self in the episode had to talk to his older
No.
self?
You know the thing I want to see now that
Do you know what I
brought that
mean?
up?
Like,
Yeah.
will there ever be a opposite perspective situation?
One of those episodes, like in All Good Things, like you see him with the disease.
Yeah,
where he's
no,
going crazy.
That's exactly what I want to see as like one of like season 2, mid-season 2, him on the bridge talking to Bev and
Troy.
LeVar Burton,
Oh yeah.
Jordy?
right? Because she was the captain of what, the Oberman or the
Yeah,
Hoffman?
some ship Odyssey.
Yeah, Odyssey. Yeah,
Or
but
no,
I'd
it was,
like
I
to
can't
see
remember what
the-
the name was, but yeah, something.
But
like
I
that.
want to see that scene again, just him actually living into that moment and actually going crazy because he already knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's essentially like a shot-for-shot remake of that scene, just with more bookend.
Yeah, and a lot of de-aging.
Yeah,
Yeah, for the other actors,
yeah,
I
exactly.
guess. Yeah,
I'd
maybe.
like to
We'll
see that.
We'll see.
Because that would be like Trouble with Tribbles all over again. And
Yeah.
that one did fantastic for DS9.
Yeah, so we're coming short on time, so let's talk about really quickly. Back to Captain Marvel.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
the social what?
Before we completely jump off of that, what my original question was before you guys took
Okay.
it away was, is there an episode of TNG where they could possibly fit in that situation where the opposite perspective is taking place, where they had cut up an old episode and fit it in?
I think everybody's too old to make that happen. I think the time has passed.
No, it's essentially a Trouble with Tribbles thing that I'm talking about, where
Oh,
they cut
just
up an
show up.
episode.
in an old
that they could
episode.
do. Yeah, yeah.
Which one would it be?
You can
Because
pick-
you guys are the ones that like.
Well, I know which one it wouldn't be. Wouldn't be the Pegasus because they already did that for Enterprise as the series finale.
yeah.
Yeah, there's which one would it be? That's a really interesting question.
Yeah, I mean, it all
Time
depends.
Zero would be a good candidate because that's already time travel based.
But where would he come in? Like, there's no.
19th
I guess it
century
also.
Earth.
I guess.
Yeah. There's I don't know. I mean, there's episodes where it wouldn't work, like the Best of Both Worlds, Yesterday's Enterprise. None of those really have an opportunity for flashbacking by the older Enterprise people, by older Picard.
I mean, in theory, you could also just, if Picard has a flashback of the olden days.
Will he
You
have
can
a
take
scene with
any
Q where
episode.
he's being judged again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. See
That-
that? A third segment in the trial.
Yeah.
It started with the trial, the series ended with the trial, and then the trial picks up again, and it's Picard facing down Q, who's grilling him again for something else.
I'd like to almost see Q be on trial and Picard called as a witness out of nowhere.
Well, that'd be good. Yeah. Yeah, who knows?
And I mean, that
So
would
social
absolutely-
justice.
Yeah, we're social justice. So we got to talk about the Captain Marvel controversy. I have something to say about it. I'm getting
Please.
very tired. It's Friday. I didn't sleep very well last night. So I will try to put this together as coherently as possible in my gentle voice.
Fuck that
Um,
noise.
But no, so the drama is this. Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, said that on her press junketing tour, she was going to try to include more people of color and more women as journalists to interview her, because she's noticed that on her previous tours, there were just a lot of white men and nobody else. I thought that was a pretty benign comment. I mean, as a white man, and I don't exactly consider myself to be a social justice warrior, I guess I'm kind of left of center politically, but I'm not like staunchly like out there on fucking Tumblr complaining about how my Aetherkin brothers are not being recognized as a gender. Like, that's certainly not me. I was not particularly upset by that, nor was I upset by the Gillette commercial or any of that other stuff. I didn't find it offensive because I didn't find that any of that stuff was targeted at me. But for some reason, the internet took it very hard, and they review bombed the want to see aggregate on Rotten Tomatoes. The movie fell from a 99% to a 26% because of all these angry white men who said, well, Brie Larson made it clear that she didn't want white men watching her movie, so fuck that bitch right in the pussy. I'm not going to go see Captain Marvel. And then they left a bad review and they fucked off. It was a good few thousand of them before Rotten Tomatoes stepped in and said, we're removing that feature for all movies because of reasons. They didn't really specify. They kind of dodged the question and said, well, we're not doing it to save Captain Marvel, but we do recognize that it's abusable. So we're removing it. Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts, other fellow white men?
I find it derogatory that you view me as a white man.
Oh, really? You're colorblind? You don't identify as a white man?
Even colorblind people can see white and dark, like black and white, right?
Can, but you're peach. Yeah.
I'm not like a ghost.
Not like a ghost.
So that's where I was going with this. Was just another way to say
ghost.
I mean, the problem is
the whole thing was a setup just to do that again.
We've already seen this type of shaming before. I mean, Lily Tran, she took this in the chin.
So you think there's just a segment of
Whoa, Doug. That's not getting to sexual assault. Taking it in the chin.
Yeah.
On the chin, fine.
So I think what Doug is okay, guys, come on. Trying to be fair and biased here.
There you go.
So let's just say this then. So what Doug is trying to allude to is that there is a segment of nerd culture. These are young, let's call it what it is, incel-y men who are probably lonely and don't like women very much. And you're just saying that there's always going to be these people. They're always going to find a reason to be angry and manufacture hate.
I mean,
there was the guy in Toronto that like took his car, ran over a bunch of people in front of Mel Aspin Square. He was part of like some internet, like deep internet thing where he hated all women.
Yep.
So, like, it could be something similar to that.
It's true.
And this all derived from what, 4chan?
That's 4chan's the heart of everything that goes on that's like this. But I think it's just the internet in general.
Yeah,
like
and that's the thing.
Just trolls all around the internet. I think that's what it is. It's just a segment of men who are just particularly sensitive to this whole thing.
Well, we've had a ton of superhero men. There's been no real superhero woman. Yeah. Now that there's a superhero woman who's like, well, we should be more inclusive and all the rest. I mean, it was essentially just like Lily Tran, basically coming out and being...
Or Black Panther.
Or Black Panther.
Yeah.
Like, there's always a subset that'll get, their butt hurt about something.
No, I've always said this, and I'll maintain this. I do believe that there is a small segment of people who will just see Black Panther because it has an all-black cast, and I do believe that there are a segment of people who will just see Captain Marvel because it has a female lead. Obviously, they're trying to appeal to a segment of the population it's pandering. I do get it. They have a point, but I think it's a very small minority, and I think most people are just going to see the movie because it's a fucking good movie, and that's it. And people need to just fucking shut up.
But there's also, like, a group of people who want to get walked on by Vietnamese women and then jerked off by the Vietnamese woman's feet.
That's true.
So, like, the thing is there's always going to be a section of people into something.
And they're loud.
And they unique. Will get really loud.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I that's the thing. I don't think people should read into too far. Don't give it any fucking credence at all. Don't amplify the message with your own voice by repeating it like we're doing. But I just thought it was stupid. Like, I'm a pretty reasonable dude. Like, I'm not a bro by any means, I'm not one of those guys. I'm not an alpha in that traditional sense. But I'm not a fucking so-called beta cuck either. And, like, but as a guy in the middle, I can say that, like, people need to chill the fuck out. I wasn't offended by the Gillette commercial. I just think all these people are saying is, like, hey, if you're an alpha twat that's going around waving his dick in people's faces, leaving cum stains on their sheet, how about you fuck off a little bit, buddy?
I think it's because, like, you've gotten really good at backpedaling.
Me?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because what
do you mean?
You say your piece, and then because obviously you try to offend people.
Yeah.
And then you disarm it. You disarm them being offended.
Yeah, I do, by being accommodating. That's because it's a joke. It's meant to be humorous,
Right. But that's like, and that's how you go about the backpedal is you emphasize this is meant as a joke,
Yeah.
and you construct the situation as such.
Yeah. It takes
But
careful effort.
But the thing is you start by throwing it out there.
Yeah, I do. I just come out with like I'm just straight up meeting people and going, ting tong bing bong. It's just like racist jokes or something
So
incredibly
racist.
offensive.
And then when they get offended, that's when you construct the scenario to let them know, hey, it was a joke. I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm
These-
specifically trying to get a rise out of you.
So are you
That's
saying
the
that
purpose.
some of these people were trying to get a rise, and now that we've done this,
And
they're
now
just
that you-
posting online like, "Oops, our bad. Time for funny time."
No, now it's become mob mentality.
Yeah, like it starts with maybe one guy who's trolling, who's just like trying to be a dick on purpose, but doesn't really mean it. And then all the real dicks come out and join in, thinking it's real.
But I mean,
Maybe.
this is somewhat of our culture too, right? Everything does start with one drop, right?
Yeah,
A river starts with one drop of water moving forward.
Oh my God, that's so deep, Doug.
Thanks. But I mean,
a whole river starts with one drop.
well, but this is the whole thing here, right? It takes one comment, and then some brosef is going to be like, I'm not the only one who feels that way.
Yeah.
Time for me to get my hate on.
Yeah,
It's not, no, okay, you know what? Like, just general understanding of the different cultures of men. A bro would be like, yeah, I want to bang her, without maybe a southern accent.
Or maybe
But
with a
he
southern
would.
accent.
That's what he would go with. We're talking about trolls here, generally
Yeah.
like neck beards. You
Are
know,
you trying to
Yeah.
say something about my beard?
no, just like
no, I do think it's a part of nerd culture.
it's a
Probably
nerd
is.
culture that's
Magic
just
the
like
Gathering players that are
it's-
afraid of women.
they're afraid of
Yeah.
women and they're frustrated by women.
I know they're incels,
Or do you
involuntary
think-
celibate. Have you never heard that term before? Incel.
No, I have
Yeah.
before on the news when the
Yeah.
guy hit
Yeah.
a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Now, do you think it's that, or do you think it's just they feel that they're losing what's making them like them?
It's their own. Like comic books are my thing.
No,
Yeah.
essentially that's what it is because like they've accepted the fact that they're not comfortable around women,
Okay,
and women sense that and are not comfortable around them,
makes sense. I mean,
right? Like we know people like that,
Yeah, we do.
okay?
Yeah.
And so what happened?
Not mentioning any names, Doug.
No, but he stole my name on Twitch.
Oh, yes,
oh, him.
He did.
Sure.
He did steal your name on Twitch.
Well, he didn't steal entirely your name, just
So
like
just-
50%.
Just the good half.
Just the good half, essentially. Yeah.
He didn't take bubble.
No,
You still got bubble.
I still have that.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're all bubs to me.
He couldn't be Bubble Barista. No, he had to be Bubble Baron. No, something Bear. Won't say his name. Not giving him any fucking promotion.
Isn't he off now?
He's
Anyway?
it looks like he's kind of not doing it. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever. I'm not
Okay,
gonna
but the
get
point
put off.
is that like there's people like that out there, and if some super successful, attractive woman like Brie Larson, who's trying to just be accommodating and inclusive of everybody,
Yeah.
is out there and putting it out there, the neckbeards will rise up,
Sure.
Yeah.
And, I think,
and that's
and
what's happened.
The internet
yeah.
is just a giant amplifier, megaphone.
Sure.
Is the thing. It takes the tiniest of minorities and gives them a massive platform.
Okay, so
Sure.
my question to you quickly, Gal Gadot somehow avoided all of this.
It's pronounced Gadot. Actually.
Okay.
Is it good
So
dog?
what
It
did
is,
she?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think
It's a
so.
hard. It's a hard T. No, seriously, it is. It's Israeli. It's Gadot.
Hmm?
It's not French.
Okay,
It's not
because
Gadot. I
All-
assure you, as married to a Jewish woman, it's Gadot.
I don't believe you.
You want to bet?
Yeah, I'll bet.
Do you want to make this a live podcast bet?
live podcast?
All right,
bet.
it's on. Here we go. Doug, I'll just do the honors right here at my console.
No, you go for
That's
it,
it.
man.
We're doing it. Googling.
All right, hold on. What is the bet in honor of? Is it like
How?
who? What is it just
To
like pride
pronounce-
or
Yeah, it's pride at this point. I'll
Gal.
admit that I was wrong and Jeff was right, if that's the point, and vice versa.
Her last name doesn't rhyme with dough. The T on her last name isn't silent. It's pronounced Godot. According to The
According to-
Insider.
The Insider.
Oh, the Insider.
Okay, so let's have any YouTube video.
All right, here.
We're here with Gal Gadot. Here's Gal.
Hello, my name is Gal Gadot. I'm obviously
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard T.
a hard
I was
T.
wrong, Jeff. You were right.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway.
continuing
There we
with
go.
my thought,
Yep.
how did Gal Gadot avoid all of this that Brie Larson is now experiencing?
But was
Because
she active?
Though
She
Gal
didn't.
Gadot,
She didn't avoid it. I think it hit her pretty hard.
But
did it hit
Oh
Gal
yeah,
Gadot?
the Wonder
really
Woman
hard?
thing was full of fucking raging incels who were angry. As my wife walks in and listens to us judgingly, she's like, "What are you talking about? Women? Excuse me, 3 white men talking about women? Yeah, we're talking about women. We're defending women. Brie Larson, my girl, Captain Marvel. She's like, try not to say anything here. She hasn't said
No?
a word.
But the eyes.
The eyes. She's
Yeah.
like,
Spoke
okay,
volumes.
go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
The facial expressions.
But no, Gal Gadot did not avoid it at all.
Didn't she? Because like she seems to have come through it pretty like with a lot of grace.
So will Brie Larson. This will blow over. The movie's still going to gross 150 million in the first weekend or something like that. It's
yeah,
going to be
probably
absurd.
something insane. But
No one gives a fuck. So I think the
well,
average-
Rotten Tomatoes does.
Well, I
Eh.
mean, they changed the algorithm because they had to from that.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll leave it there. We're already winding up an hour and a half.
Too long.
Yeah,
Too long.
hour and a half.
You're
All right,
just gonna
everyone.
keep dragging
Good
out the hell-
podcast.
This is Jay Leno, podcast. Welcome to my show. I'm going to take it back from Conan in about 3 episodes.
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he did.
All right, what do we got to pitch?
What Bubble Baron.
Bubble Baron on Twitch.
Not treat. Not going to
Nope,
mention.
not
He
even gonna
whose name
mention it.
shall not be mentioned. Not the other Baron, that fake Baron, that big incel Baron, who finally settled and married someone appropriate for his appearance.
And here's the thing: I'm not. I'm still
I shouldn't
single.
make jokes about him. I haven't spoken to him in years.
No,
I'm, sure he's fine.
I'm still single, and that's sad. Because
Yeah.
like Star Trek, I've noticed that in my 30s, you know that episode where Beverly crushes on the Enterprise, and then suddenly like her assistant disappears.
Yeah,
and
everybody
then-
else disappears.
And then everyone else slowly
Yeah.
starts disappearing.
That's
until
what's
it's-
happening to you. Like
that's what
literally, all your friends are moving to Victoria.
Yeah, all my friends are leaving me now that I'm in my 30s, and like as soon as just like one at a time, like Andrew's gone, and I haven't really noticed that yet.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't hit me that hard, but soon everyone else will be
Yeah,
gone.
he was
Now
in
it's just Doug and
engineering.
Anka, and even she's itching to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Like
Yeah.
it's just gonna be Doug and I, and Doug after 22 years will be gone,
Yep. I already
and
planned
then
the
it'll
spot.
be just me.
Well,
The
I mean,
ultimate
by that
kicker,
point, you
though,
could
like
just
not,
be-
I'm not going to knock on Doug here. But I kind of, I kind of am. But if Doug manages to find the woman of his dreams and get married before you, then the
No,
last
he's
guy
right.
standing.
Yeah, no, he's got a point, man. You're gonna get it before I do. I give you this.
But I'm rooting for Doug. I would. I want him to pull it
Oh
out
my heart!
Nice.
because Greg is ladies. Greg is a good guy and he's single. You contact the podcast, leave a comment.
Yeah.
If you're a single lady looking
No,
for a single
please
baby.
Please,
He's
don't.
got
no,
boyish
no.
charm. He could easily be the 6th member of 98 Degrees.
No, so like I've done some thought about my like I'm gonna get serious here, guys. I've done some
Like
thought
actual
about my
serious?
relationship stuff,
Okay.
and I know early on when I first started dating, it wouldn't take me that long, but then I would start like imagining a life with the person,
Yeah.
and then fast forward, it doesn't work out. And I'd take the breakup way harder because now I'm having to like break up with all of these thoughts
Yeah.
and the imagination that I had
Yeah.
that took off and went to like marriage and shit,
Yeah.
which is like, I think that's somewhat healthy, but you know, it's
It
like
depends
it's
on
somewhat
your level
natural.
of-
I would
It's
think.
easier when you get married
When
and
you
then
have,
slowly
like,
have
a-
to divorce yourself from those ideas over the years.
Yeah.
But then,
Looking at
but
my wife
now,
is-
now what's happened is I've taken on this like more. What's the attitude like?
Laissez-faire.
Yeah, just I don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
And then what happens is like now I'm more successful with dating because I don't really care. And now it gets to a point where I just don't care, and then it breaks.
now you
it
really don't
ends.
care.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it just ends.
Yeah. Yeah. That's too bad.
And so like I think I think it's better to be how I was than how I am now.
Well, there's
But I
probably
just
a
have to
happy
learn-
medium between.
I
the
just
two,
have to
right?
learn how to compartmentalize the imagination from taking off.
Right. All I know is I have, through my wife, who's watching me, eyeing me as I say this, I have
Yeah.
a single friend in the place where we are moving who is mysteriously single, and I think you would be a great match for her.
There you go.
Who do you think? I'm not going to say her name, obviously, but there's a certain friend. She's really attractive. I would love to peek on the two of you banging through the curtains. Let's just say. Just saying.
Cutting this part out, right?
No.
No.
Yeah, we will.
No.
That's
but-
what we
but
always
in all-
say in the
in
podcast.
all
Yeah, we'll cut it.
We'll
post.
get it in post. No, but in all seriousness, no, I know you should move out there with us. We got some. Kate can hook you up. She got some contacts.
How many people I know that want to date her?
A lot.
Many
I know.
wanted to date her, and she is mysteriously single.
I don't know what it is. Something about her. No, she must be a Scientologist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just wow.
I
Well,
don't
I'm
know.
out then. I'm out.
My cousin wanted to date her.
If you're gonna be on the podcast, speaking to the microphone. Okay. Anyway,
But-
we're gonna call that a wrap because this is a terrible podcast. Nobody
Alright.
can hear my wife at all.
No, they probably can. That's the fantastic part about your damn
No,
mic.
It's
Picking up
low.
everything.
It's low. They probably can't.
Probably.
No, probably not. Anyway, thanks for listening.
This is a podcast. We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
I'm Bubble Baron on Twitch.
And
That's
Doug
Paladin.
is
got nothing.
eventually. Doug, we're
Paladin.
gonna film a video maybe today. I don't know. There's not enough time.
Ah, fuck it.
Not maybe not
Another
today.
time.
But we're gonna have a video. Doug's gonna be in it because we're gonna be building his new computer,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be making him build it. And every mistake he makes, I'm gonna slap him.
Right in the
that's
back of
that's
the
the
head.
concept. I was gonna buy a cattle prod, but
We were actually concerned PETA would get involved.
yeah, Peter would get. He'd be like, "Don't be so offensive and harmful to cattle prods."
That's right.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Yep.
and I'm Ofa. See you later.
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 Yep.
And I'm Ofa. See you later.